kung papasok ka sa public service, especially politics, you cannot survive it without a deep sense of faith. Because it's too easy to be buffeted left and right by the strong forces and the strong winds and the strong influences. If your faith isn't strong, mahirapan ka talaga to navigate. It's the one that really allows you to stay afloat and stay on the water, no? The Ateneo experience, I think, gave root to that spirituality. That's what the Ateneo experience helped me understand.
Welcome, Bam.
Hi,
Thanks
Jake.
for the time.
Thank
Sige,
you. Thank you for inviting me.
sige. Let's have a conversation. Well, let's talk about how what was the background of your Jesuit education?
Well, my brothers went to Ateneo for high school and college. My dad went to Ateneo for college. In the 80s, the Aquino boys were all going to Ateneo.
A short question with a really long answer. In the journey of your life, how did you sort of discover and make that choice to enter public service? It's not a traditional career in the world or in the Philippines.
It's not, no, and in fact, when I graduated from ME, management engineering in 1999, most of my batchmates actually went to corporate. They went
Yeah.
to work for multinationals, for banks. There were maybe just two of us in the batch that went another direction, no. But looking back, it really goes back to my childhood, when I was
Mm.
6, and my uncle was assassinated in '83, Ninoy Aquino.
He can cow us, Mr. President, if he wants. He can threaten us with jail, Mr. President. Liberty shall not rest in the hospital beds, nor in the stockade.
How is it that a person comes to the point of going into the street to confront a tank? People without weapons, without particular organization, no ranks or files. How do they face an army?
I was going around with my dad all over the country, speaking in protest actions, witnessing all of that, witnessing the protest actions there, which eventually led to the EDSA revolution. That really left an important mark in my life. I saw people come together to solve a really big problem, the most
Yeah.
insurmountable problem that you could think of, which was a dictatorship. People being able to find it in themselves, even if it was for a fleeting moment, no? To try to come together to fight something bigger than themselves. That was a life-changing experience for me.
So what's the story of seeing that as six and then going through high school, university? What were the careers you tried to explore and what were you kind of looking for?
So, in school, I would always be very active in the student council. I really spent a lot of time, most of my time and energy, in the student council in fourth year college. But I always felt that uh, they were opportunities for me
Yeah.
to go outside of the school. Because pag student council ka, raming events which allow you to leave the school, to meet other people, to go to different schools or to go to communities. And, that was something that was very, very attractive for me. After college, I worked for an NGO as my first job.
Yeah.
Again, it was a little different from my batchmates, but it was quite clear to me that that's what I wanted to do. I worked staffer job in an NGO back in 1999. And then I was in the law school for a short time. I didn't feel it was really for me. So when there
Mhm.
was an opportunity to serve in government in 2001, I took it, and I was one of the commissioners of the National Youth Commission. In 2005, I finished my term in government, and I found myself jobless. No, my good friend who also studied in Ateneo, Mark Ruiz, he was also going through a crisis of sorts. We
Yeah.
called it at that time a quarter life crisis because we were in our mid 20s or late 20s. and he was working for a multinational, and he also wanted to do something else. And I said, well, I'm free, so why don't we put something up? And that was the start of Happy Noy. A lot of my time in Happy Noy, actually, you can also draw a line, no, back to the Ateneo education, no, looking for solutions which are systemic in nature, trying to do your best to have integrity in what you do, even if maybe the circumstances don't call for it, or even just trying to really get to the root of where people are, where Filipinos
Yeah.
are, where
Yeah.
families are, what their dreams are, what they really want out of life, how to help them help themselves get out of poverty. A lot of this comes from the Ateneo education. I remember talking in a forum about social entrepreneurship, and a couple of the people in the audience said, that's not possible.
You
You
can't.
cannot mix business and helping people.
Yeah.
You have to choose one.
Okay.
No, and we were dumbfounded, ni Mark, no, because we were saying, no, actually, if you combine the best parts of entrepreneurship,
Yeah.
value creation, hard work, innovation, and
Yeah.
you combine that with the best parts of the development world,
Yeah.
no, bringing out the best in people, helping families have better incomes, and all of these things, no, then you do have something special. I wouldn't have run for the Senate if I didn't do Happy Meal.
Yeah. Why is that?
Kasi wala akong K. Wala akong K. Being in a political family, as soon as you hit 25, people are already asking, are you running? Are you
Yeah.
running for this? Are you running for that? I always pushed it away and really held it off and said, I'm not ready, or wala pa akong makakontribute. And it was only after the 7 years in Happy Noy that I felt that, okay, I've got something that's worthwhile to share. I've experienced it. I know what it takes to get a family out of poverty. I know the interventions we need to do. I know the problem systemically. Alam ko na, naranasan ko na yan. So, I think I'm ready, no? So, all of it led to each other. I ran in 2013, and thankfully I won. And I felt a lot of the laws and policies that we pushed came from that experience in social enterprise. No? So, if you track the 50 plus laws that we did, you can actually connect it all to a lot of the learnings from the social enterprise experience. It all connected. And of course, I wouldn't have done the National Youth Commission if I wasn't active in the student movement, in the student council. And I wouldn't have been in the student council if I wasn't exposed in the 80s to, the protest actions during the time, the struggle during martial law. So, kahit pa paano, it builds on each other. And I guess, you're just lucky. You're lucky to see the signs and see when other things open up also.
When I listen to your life story, you're saying there seems to be one line that connects it. It really I've seen that in conversations, even in my own life, that but we tend to keep on solving the problems we care about. There's something about the problems that speak to us, because there are many problems, no? But there are many systemic problems. Um, have you ever thought of why those problems spoke to you?
I think for me, it was seeing a solution, not necessarily just seeing a problem, because there are a
Yeah.
lot of problems, but seeing that kaya naman natin eh. There's a solution to be able that we can harness, and which is why I think all throughout my different careers,
Yeah.
that's what I've been trying to do. I've been trying to bring people together because I know that by bringing people together, we can solve these problems.
I was going to ask you that. Well, yeah, what's the role that you find that you play, that you see for yourself? And I imagine it's discovered, no, more than planned. Like, these are my gifts, therefore I should do this. But really, parang an organic discovery of your role, bringing people together and trying to solve problems.
Yeah, I think that's what I do best. I think I can bring people together. I'm a connector. I like to
Mm,
connect people. I'm also a cheerleader, I think. My wife always says my positivity can sometimes drive her crazy, but I think that's also a gift, no? To because again, no, you go back and you think to yourself, kaya mo naman pala to solve these
yeah.
issues.
Oh, sounds like a very Ignatian question, but it's a question of discernment. Diba? Where do I invest the energies of my life, my skills, my talents, my gifts? And I think, yeah, that's something that Jesuit institutions value, but they try to bring together young people and say, where do we invest the energy of your young lives to make a difference in people's lives? It was always that for me. And that growing up, also grade school, high school, college, that was always the question: where do you make a difference? Where do you use your talents, big and small? My own life journey is, my summary is lost and found. Parang
Mhm.
I would find it, I would lose it, I would find it again. But in the end, I find that there's a thread that kind of carries through. Your story seems to be following your nose, parang following your instincts, not really lost and found, but following where this 6-year-old boy's mind-blowing revelation of social change happened. But how would you describe that journey? But you didn't plan it, obviously, right? How would you describe it? It's not lost and found, eh?
It's not. It's not because I don't share that feeling of being lost.
Yeah.
No, it's really more of parang you do what you can with what you have. Some people in their 30s and 40s still don't know what they want to do. When you're a young person, the reason why your school is important to you
Mm, mm,
is because it allows you to find out what it is that is what it is na importante sa'yo, what it is that
yeah,
is important to you. I feel that one of the best things that Ateneo did for me was to nurture that, no, to
yeah.
allow me to figure it out that this is really what I want to do and to nudge me in that direction.
What would you tell college young professionals sort of figuring out now where to invest the energy of their lives?
So, ako two things. One is explore. That's the best time to find out, no, what it is that really makes your heart beat just
Yeah,
a little bit faster. Not only through your course, in fact, better nga not from your course, kasi the courses can be limiting.
yeah,
It's really the extracurricular activities, the organizations, the chances that you have to really go out of the school and meet other people. The second one is to be honest with yourself. Kasi I really feel, Jake, na a lot of us, alam naman natin eh. Alam naman
at
natin what it is
yeah.
eh.
At saan natin
Pero,
alam? Dito, dito.
sorry?
At saan natin alam?
Dito,
Yeah,
dito. Sometimes nga sa gut eh.
yeah,
Sometimes sa chan, di ba?
yeah,
Alam mo naman eh. But you're afraid to accept it. You're
yeah,
afraid to address it. Or it's not what people expect of you. It's not what parents expect of you. It's not what society
yeah,
expects of you. It's not what your generation thinks is cool or
yeah,
not. Sometimes kasi in the modern day, because of so much choice,
yeah.
sometimes we're very limited with our choices. No, it's kind of paradoxical that with so much
There's so much
choice,
choice. Yeah,
because of because of your group of friends, because of where you work, where you live, who you are, suddenly limited ka talaga eh. And there are limitations that you've put on yourself.
yeah,
No, they're not real limitations. No? So I think when we say na people have to really find it, no, search for it, go on that personal journey to find out what it is that really is important. It's also pushing away all of these
yeah.
limitations that we've put.
What do you think are the qualities and attitudes needed for leaders today who are challenging themselves to address those?
Yeah. Um, I guess what's pretty clear for me now, no, at least having been in the Senate, having been in politics already, looking at our problems, huge problems that we've never seen before, like the pandemic. The integrity, the
Yeah,
character part, that's the base. That should be our base. For many times kasi in our elections, that's the aspiration. O sana we vote for somebody na matino or we vote for somebody na hindi corrupt. So many times that was the aspiration. And that's how low the bar is, di ba? That's our aspiration. But to really be able to survive the modern problems of the world, the so-called VUCA problems, no, volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous, that should be the base. Doon dapat tayo nagsisimula. And then you build it with people who are excellent, people who know systems, people who are capable, people who are humble and willing to learn also. That should be the next step, no? And it's just unfortunate that in the political world, just getting to that first level seems like already such a hurdle,
yeah,
no? But it should be what we should expect. And then we hope for people who are also capable and effective. That's where the Ateneo education also comes in, I think. Because again, during my time, excellence was also heavily emphasized. No? Hindi pwedeng mediocre work. Magis, basically, magis, di ba? You have to do more.